So, hi. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Great. I don't know why I have a microphone in my hand. I should not be trusted with one. So, here's my disclaimer. No matter what I say, take it with a grain of rice. And check with me in the morning to make sure that it's actually true. No, I'm just kidding. So, I'm going to start out. I'm not used to having one of these. I've just done one freestanding. So if I drop this thing, it's completely by accident. I'm not doing a mic drop. So, my name is Dallas Johnston. I'm going to start off just by talking about my story and how I got started, and just give you a brief overview of the company and the products and why this is such a unique and special time to get involved with this. So, I've been in direct sales or social selling or network marketing, whatever you want to call it, for a little over 5 years. I was with a previous company that had skincare that it was developed by 2 dermatologists. I won't say the name. And if I slip, it's not my fault. It's that glass right there if I slip. So, I didn't have a whole lot of experience in the industry. I basically learned everything for that whole time frame from the people that I was under. And I am not a public speaker. I do not like getting up in front of people. So my whole journey throughout that company was very, very slow. And whenever I got in, I thought that I was getting in on the very, very ground floor, because I had never seen it on Facebook, and I have maxed out my Facebook friends. I can't add anymore. I'm going through every day and I'm deleting people because there's no room. When you reach 5,000, you can't add anymore. They can't add you. You have to delete people you haven't talked to in 7 years. So I had never seen it, which was kind of shocking because I had so many friends and connections, and I was really excited. And it was a slow but steady race. And the first people that got involved were my family. And I couldn't beg people to join me. It was 6 or 7 months before the first non-family person joined me, and I didn't promote to the next level. I started in June 2013, and I didn't promote until probably February. So it was a good 7 months. And over the next 5 years, I had a team of over 500. I was making an average of $2,500 a month, and quite frankly, that paid my bills. I still work at my family's feed store, and I worked there the entire time. But I could have lived just off of my income from that other company without ever having to step foot in the feed store. But because that's our family's lifeblood, that's what we do. So over the last 2 years, my business was just on this slow but steady decline. People were falling off. I didn't sign anyone up in over a year and a half, the last year and a half of my business. I would get customers here and there, and I still maintained that paycheck because I had such a large team. And so I'll never forget, it was August 7th, and I was getting ready for work, late as usual, and I got a message from this guy that had added me 2 weeks before, and he was just like, "Hey, I know you're with company X. Have you ever heard of Bellamy?" And I was like, here we go again. Because seriously, I had created a following on Facebook of people from other companies, and every month, at least once or twice, someone would come to me and be like, "Hey, I'm selling these wraps," or "Hey, I'm selling this juice drink," or "Hey, I'm selling this brand new skincare." And I was like, great, how many people in the company? 48,000 in every state. Thank you so much. I'm not going to take advantage of this. So on August 7th, Dominic, my sponsor, he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I said no. He was like, "Well, can I add you to this opportunity group?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll look and try." So without actually saying that I had been looking, I had been thinking about looking for something else besides the company that I was with, just because I knew I wasn't growing. And even though for the last 5 years I've been promised that I was going to go to the top of the company, even though there were 400,000 people just in the United States. And that's a lot. Like, even though there are, what, 6 million in the United States? I think there's about 6 million in the United States. Like,
We need to know that answer. We don't need to know that pre-K.
okay, that doesn't matter.
That's
So,
high school stuff. That's high school stuff.
like, I told him, I was like, yes, I'll look at it. And so I actually did. I got to work, and like throughout the day, like I would put my headphones and I was listening to this video of Tara and AJ, and I was listening to everything that they were saying, and like I was thinking to myself, like, this is the opportunity that I've been looking for the last probably year or so. And you know, to him, I just kind of stayed very neutral. Like, I would ask him questions and just be like, okay. Like whenever I said, how many people are in the company? Oh, 500. Okay. Like, I didn't act too excited because I wanted to keep my calm. And then I was like, so what's the compensation plan like? And he was like, well, in your quick start, you can earn $71,000. And I was like, $71,000? Let me see the comp plan. Little does he know. Well, he knows now, and he's probably watching this. I know nothing about the comp plan, and I don't do numbers or figures. Like, I'm very much a product person. Well, I asked him for the comp plan, and I looked at it. And then he showed me how you hit each rank, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is solid. Like, the way that you build this business, like, if you're really growing and you're really building, there's no way you're gonna take a step back, especially now that it's so brand new. And so by about 4 or 5 o'clock, I had made up my mind. Like, yeah, we're doing this. My fiance, he was at work, so I did not quite get to share with him that I was going to nose dive right to the middle of all of this and totally drop $2,500 a month after we just moved into a new house. So, Dominic was like, well, hey, would you like to go on a 3-way call with me and my upline Tara? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so he was like, well, have some questions ready, and she can answer them for you when you get on the call. So I was like, okay, cool. Hold.
Time out.
Yeah.
So, first of all, like, Tara is like, she's a beast. Not a bad beast. She's a very, very good beast. But like, she knows business inside and out. She knows this industry inside and out. So she was ready for all the questions I might have. And like, seriously, when I got on the phone, I was like, here we go. I got this. I'm gonna do this. And I was like, hey, Terry. Like, I totally lost all of my confidence. And I answered my questions, and she just gave it to me straight out. Like, she answered all of them inside and out. Even answered questions that I didn't know that I had. It was like she was reading my mind. And so I was like, okay, I think we're good. Like, yeah. And so we got off the phone. We had just been in this neighborhood for 6 days. And Levi's at work. I'm sitting on the front porch, and I'm like, this is no lie. I'm rocking back and forth like a crazy person. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Just do it. And so I literally, like, because we just moved in and all this, like, I had to borrow money from my mom to sign up. Even though I made that much money, like, that's how much debt, like, I had, like, hanging on me at this point. So I borrowed money from my mom. I got signed up. I was in such a panic that I drank upwards of 3 bottles of wine. And Levi got home, and he corrected me last time I did one of these. He corrected me. When he got home, I was like, and I passed out. And so the next day, he was like, okay, so last night you tried to tell me something about business. And I was like, And I was like, I had just come to grips with that. I was like, yeah, I just joined the business. Yeah, now you gotta tell him. I was like, yeah. I joined this brand new company, and here we go. And he was like, but what about that one? And I was like, oh no, I have to give that up. And he was like, you have to give up that much money, and we just moved into this house. I was like, yeah. And so I got ready, and I was like, bye, gotta go to work, huh? So he was not very happy, to say the least. But so, like, the journey was very, like, I was scared because, like, my sponsor is in Virginia, so I had no one here to talk to. Like, all the questions all the answers that I needed, I had to get on the phone and message Dominic or Jan, which Jan is Dominic's sponsor. So, like, for a week or two, like I was all by myself. And I was like, how in the heck am I ever gonna learn this? And so I just had to start going into all of our 10 pages, and I watched videos over and over and over and over. And I had to read through the compensation plan, even though it was like reading Chinese. I just had to read it, pretend like I knew what I was comprehending, but that's fine. So like, the first person I signed up was in this room, and it was my mom. And I was like, hey, listen, guess what? I need your credit card. And she was like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, you're gonna sign up. Okay, cool, thanks. You're my first partner, welcome. And so like, the whole, it was a couple of days, and then all of a sudden someone popped into my inbox, the person I would least expect. And he was like, I wanna do this. And I was like, okay, here's my link. Go and do it. Because I was like, I was still so scared, and he did. And then I welcomed him, and then over the next 12 or so days, it just started became like a small snowball. And I will never forget, on the last day of August, I was like $1,500 away and one person away from my first promotion, which took me 7 months with the previous company. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, Jan, Dominic, it's not gonna happen. And Jan was like, oh no, we're not done. We still have time. So I was like, okay. So I just reached out to them and I was like, hey, who can you talk to? And they're like, I'll talk to one more person. And then by 9 o'clock, we were up 750. By 11 o'clock, we were up 1,000. And I was like, I need one more person. And all of a sudden I signed them up. And Jan was like, oh my gosh, congratulations, you did it. And I was like, I ranked up, it's only been 20 days. And she was like, this is what happens when it's a ground floor opportunity. I was completely blown away. Also that night I was so stressed out that I drank enough wine that I didn't matter until the next day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a director, great. So then, I'll never forget, on September 1st, I signed two people up before noon that day, and I was like, how is this happening? This really is ground floor, and this is something very, very special that you don't see every day in this industry. And the kind of company and credibility that this company has already, you don't see that. It's just, the quality is 10 times better. I was with a company that everyone knows about, everyone's heard about this company. And, it's supposedly the next best thing. But, I miss this part. So because I've been with a previous skincare company that seriously did, it totally changed my skin. Even though I've been with them for so long, whenever I joined Bellamy, I was like, here's the deal, Dallas, you're gonna build this business, but just so that your skin doesn't break out, and you can keep selling skincare, you're gonna keep using Company X. So I was like, okay, yeah, great. These are the conversations that happen in my head, by the way. So that was my plan, but whenever I got my product in, I was like, just try it. Just try it, what are you gonna lose? Use it once, if your face breaks out by tomorrow, go back. Well, I used it, and I was like, this stuff smells so good. I was keeping in mind, I didn't try the product first. I didn't get a sample, I didn't get anything. I heard about the opportunity and I pounced on it because I knew that eventually the other option was just gonna fall away in decay. So I was expecting by day 3, my face would be covered in zits and I would look like a swamp witch. It didn't happen. So then by the end of week 1, I was like, okay, we're still good. And by the end of week 2, I was like, wow, I have the most crazy sensitive skin. I was like, this stuff is actually working. If I'm not actually holding this thing to my mouth and it's not working, will you please tell me so I just put it down because it's getting on my nerves already. So I was like, yeah, I can actually use this and not use Company X. And so I joke with Jan all the time because both of us came from 2 totally different companies. I was like, when you come to Tulsa for your platinum party, we're gonna have a huge bonfire. And I was like, no, we're selling it on eBay. And I was like, cool. So that's just the whole experience we've had with this journey. And we've gone through, first we ran out of samples. And some people think this is a bad thing, but really it's a gift in disguise, it's a blessing in disguise. So we ran out of samples first. And then we ran out of washcloths. And then there were no brochures. And then there was not even the pretty white box the products come in, your kit comes in. And even still, I was like, this is fine. This is okay. I'm totally okay with this. I don't need samples. I don't need a white box. I don't need washcloths. We're good. And then, there was this huge announcement that we didn't have Spencer. all because of a Sharpie challenge that a girl, Allie Lee, on our team started, where a girl came to her and she was like, that will remove waterproof mascara because our cleanser works as a 3-in-1. It's a cleanser, mask, and makeup remover. And Allie was like, yes, it will. Like she went like blind faith and like turned on her Facebook Live, took a Sharpie, and started drawing all over her face. Okay, I knew nothing about this Sharpie challenge. Please hold. I knew nothing about the Sharpie challenge, and it was what, September 4th or 5th? The Sip N Share with Melissa?
It was the 2nd.
The 2nd. So I knew nothing about this, and I'm at work, and I'm like, I'm gonna meet the CEO, I'm gonna meet Melissa Thompson. Don't throw up, really fine. And I'm at the store, we're working, and I step outside, and I check my Facebook, and one of my directs, Todd, was live. And I was like, oh cool, like Todd's never done a live, like I wanna watch this. And he's talking about our company, and I'm like, oh great, he like has so much confidence, I'm so excited, he's been in this for 2 days. And he pulls out a Sharpie. And I was like, what are you doing? Like I'm thinking to myself, like, what's he gonna do with that Sharpie? He was like, and I'm gonna do the Sharpie challenge. I'm like, no, don't do the Sharpie. I was like, I don't know what that is, but don't do it. And he started scribbling all over his face, and instantly I was like, I'm going to have a complete heart attack and throw up all over everyone around me. And he's like scribbling all over his face, and I had to turn it off. Like I had to lay it down. And I was like, I'm gonna check back in 10 minutes. And I look over, and it was coming off. Like he had used our cleanser, and like started rubbing it into his face. And like as he was doing that, it was starting to come off. And I was like, okay, Todd, I don't know you that well, but I think you're psychotic. I don't know where you got that idea. Like then we got to talking, and I was like, who started this? And he was like, Allie Lee. And I was like, I know her, and I didn't know about this. And so we go to the Sip N Share, and Melissa comes in, and keep in mind, like at this point, I was number 762 to enroll, like in the entire company. So like it was still very, 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 it's still very new now. Like even then there was like no one anywhere. So we go to the Sip N Share, and we go into the Mayo, I meet my team downstairs, we go up there, everyone kind of goes in because we were waiting for someone else, and so me and Levi kind of hang out by the elevator. And by the way, we were crashing a party for someone else on a different corporate leg. And so we're kind of waiting, and all of a sudden the elevator dings, and I turn around, and it's Melissa, and I was like, deep breathing, let's take a deep breath, like calm down, she's really sweet, she's gonna love you, it's fine, just introduce yourself. So I turned around, she was like, oh, hey Dallas, and I was like, what? And like she knew my name, and like she kept walking around the room, she knew Levi's name, and Levi was not even a partner at this point. And she goes around, and I was like, well, let me introduce you to my team. And so like she comes up, and she knew my mom's name, Michelle. She knew Louise, she knew Todd, she knew Brooke, she knew Amy, like she knew all of these people by name because she was doing all of our commissions by hand in an Excel spreadsheet. Like that's how small this was. Like she was doing all, by this point, what, 900 people's commissions by hand, like figuring them, looking at what they'd ordered, and doing it herself. There was no automated system. So, I mean, this woman, she cares so much about the quality and integrity of this business. So, cleanser was the first one to go. That was the first product to go away. So then I think we got the cleanser back for a few days. And then she got on and Melissa is very like meticulous and like planned out, and she like schedules out her calls, and she hopped on one Friday morning on our director's page, and she was like, hey, I'm going live in 30 minutes, please make sure you join. And I was like, oh dear, because it's always a week or two in advance. So she got on there and she was like, hey, we don't have any eye cream. Like a lot of people like freaked out and lost their mind, and I was like, I want to hear more. So Melissa, she was like, I got a call about 30 minutes ago, and by the way, our company tests our product throughout the entire process, like when it's made, when it's packaged, before it goes out. So right before they sent this out, they tested it, and 2 of the botanicals weren't playing nice together. And so they called her, and she was like, get rid of it. Like destroy all of it. And like when a lot of people heard that, they were like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? But she said, like, what if I had sent that eye cream out and people had an adverse reaction? Like, what if we just cleaned out all of the containers and we refilled them and there was still something left. And like, think about an eye cream. Like, you put it near your eyes. What if something wasn't happening? Like, what could happen to you? You could go blind. So like, she wasn't willing to risk that because she has as a person, she has so much integrity, and as a businesswoman, she knows how this business works, and she knows how to run a business. And so like, we were out of eye cream, and then the cleanser came back, and then like, everyone went crazy and ordered cleanser. So like, at this point, there's nothing. There's no product right now. We'll have it in a couple of weeks or so. But so many people even people that are already in the company, like, they've totally lost their mind over the fact that we have no product. And I'm like, the company that I was with, like, we would advertise and talk about these brand new product launches, and within hours of them launching, after 2 or 3 months of building this up, there'd be nothing. Or our websites would crash, and they'd be out of stock for months. And this didn't just happen with one product launch, this happened with 2 or 3. So like, the fact that this is a ground floor, like, still very small business, the fact that we're out of everything, like, this is huge, and this is something that she was planning for. Like, the batch that I got whenever I enrolled, she ordered that a year ago. And to be completely honest, she didn't expect for there to be more than 500 people in our company by the end of December. And there's around 6,400. The highest ranked title in our company is Platinum Executive Director. She didn't expect for there to be any. And there are 8. 5 of them are in our team. So like, and she's had 20 plus years of experience in this industry. So she knew what she was doing. And she went off of previous experiences. And we've totally, this company has blown up beyond her wildest dreams. Like, to sit down and talk to her, like, she's so blown away, and like, her spirit and everything, she's so real and cares so much and has the hugest heart. Like, meeting her September 2nd in Tulsa, like, made me realize, like, I was in the right place. Because she, like, her heart's just so big, and she really does care about us, like, even the underdog, per se. Like, it doesn't matter what level you are, it doesn't matter who you are, like, she cares about you, and she truly invests in you. So, now that you hear about all that, let me talk about the products. So, right now, we're just skincare, but we're going to be we are a luxury beauty brand, and we are going to launch several different product lines. So there will be a full cosmetics line starting to launch around Mother's Day. And she's already purchased the rights to hair care, a body line, or Bellamy Baby, so a baby line, and just health and wellness in general, so vitamins, all that stuff. So we're gonna be like a very well-rounded company, but what makes us different from all those others is what goes into our products. So we're not all natural. There are a lot of companies out there that are all natural, but that's not us. We are gluten-free, we are nut-free, we're cruelty-free, paraben-free, and we are vegan-friendly. And the only reason why we're not completely vegan is because our eye cream has a milk peptide, and it's not actual dairy. It's formulated to mimic actual dairy. So that's why we have to say vegan-friendly and not just absolutely vegan. One of the first things that kind of like ensnared my interest were like seeing what the active ingredients were. And they weren't like chemical names, like they were actually names that you could like listen to and remember. So like just to go over a couple, like our cleanser, it has hyaluronic acid and, great. So hyaluronic acid, what it does is it kind of goes in and it builds up your collagen and plumps everything up. Our serum, the serum is my absolute favorite, and I'm a product and ingredient junkie-ish. I'm by no means a science teacher or a chemist, because on certain days I can't pronounce half these words, even though they're like simple words. So the serum contains malachite. So malachite is a gemstone. The ancient Egyptians used it to use their eyeshadow and get all fabulous or whatever for their little shindigs that they did. The malachite contains copper, and copper is good for reducing inflammation and fixing sun damage, or like melasma, or dark spots, or hyperpigmentation, whatever you want to call it. And our eye cream, this one, it has a circulation booster. So around the skin on your eye is very, very thin, and it doesn't produce oil. So what the circulation booster does is it kind of goes out and it grabs all the oil that is being produced around the skin on your eye, and it pulls it to the eye and kind of starts to build it up and keep everything circulated and going and increase the blood flow. Sorry. Censor that for all your children that are watching. Then the last one is our moisturizer. And our moisturizer is another one of those combo products. So like it's not just going to moisturize your skin. You can actually use our moisturizer as a primer for your makeup. Our moisturizer contains marine collagen, which your collagen levels start to kind of, like everything else in your body as you get older, but like in your 20s, like your collagen level starts to go down. So the marine collagen is a naturally derived ingredient that starts to kind of plump and fill everything back up. So those are basically our products that we have for now. There are, what time is it? It's almost 7, okay. So I'm going to wrap this up really quick. There are 3 ways to get involved. You can become a retail customer, pay full price, all the shipping, and there's no auto ship. Like you just go on your partner's website, purchase it, and pay full price. Then the second way is to do our Beauty Passport, which is our customer program. So Beauty Passport works 2 different ways. You can either pay $25 a year, and you get a 10% discount, and you get free shipping on all orders over 50. And you also get on your birthday, you get special customer coupons. The other way that you can do Beauty Passport is you can do auto ship. And you can choose 30, 45, 60, or 90 days. You don't pay that $25. And you also get that special birthday coupon. So pay $25 and out of auto ship, or not pay $25 and get auto ship. Which you can also continue to, like you can email Heather, who's Melissa's sister-in-law. She runs customer service, and she can push it back for you. And then the best way is to become a founding partner. So, and that gives you the right, like right now, well, it's the only thing we have available. You pay $69, you get your website, and you can just start sharing. And the thing is like, so many of us, especially if we're not already in social selling or direct sales or network marketing, the network marketing industry, like there are always people looking for something else. Like, I have a lot of friends I have quite a few friends that are in ministry. So like, if you're in ministry, like that doesn't bring in a whole lot of money, like they're always looking for something to implement, or to, what's the word I'm looking for? Supplement that income. Like teachers, like, they don't make much money. Kai can attest to that, she can tell us all about it. Like, a lot of them are always looking for something to supplement that. Like even those of us who are in family businesses, we don't make the chunk that everyone seems to think that we make just because we own our own businesses. That's not how this works. But like, some of us are always looking for the opportunity to make extra money. But having the experience that I've had in this industry, and like, even whenever I joined my first company, there were only 80,000 people, which that's really not a lot, but like, that's enough to set you back to where you can't get to the top of the company. And like right now, like as soon as the products drop, and I'm like, this is what I've always dreamed of, and this is what I always wanted to do whenever I was in Company X. I always wanted to be at the top of the company, be a top income earner, and be one of those leaders that everyone looks up to, and be one of those people that like trains, blah, 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 blah. Like right now, I am, as soon as products hit, like I know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna hit Platinum Executive Director in January. Like it's inevitable. And that's where you make that 71,000 in your quick start. But I'm out of my quick start, and I will just say, whenever I do hit Platinum, I'll only make a $36,000 a month check. I will settle for that. Like, I can make $36,000 work. I'll be fine, I guess. But so, like, if you join today for $69, you have all of December, then you have all of January, all of February, and because of our lack of product, you have all of March. So you have all those months to earn that $71,000 because we can show it to you. You have, in your quick start, there are certain bonuses that you'll hit, certain bonuses that you earn when you hit certain levels, and it's doubled in your quick start. And then once you're out of your quick start, you still earn like a very hefty bonus. And then you earn a bonus off of the people that you bring in whenever they promote. So like there's a lot of money to be made. And like I'll never forget, like it was around beginning of November, we were on a call with Tara, who's our upline, and she was like, guys, listen, if we just stick with this and stick out all the peaks and valleys, like if we keep working through this and we keep bringing people into this company, we're going to be making 6-figure a month paychecks in a year. And Tara, of anyone else I know in this company, Tara knows exactly what she's talking about. Because she has an incredible story, and I would love to share it with you, but you know, we have some people in our upline that know exactly what they're doing in this business, and they've created all the training that you need. And there's 4 or 5 different team pages where there's a ton of training on them, and there's literally not an answer that you can't find in those team pages. Like they've all created everything that we need to be successful. So that's really it. Like we are in the perfect place at the perfect time, and like there's literally, as long as we're pushing along, there's no way that we're not going to be successful. As long as we keep following the system that they've created for us and keep pushing and keep working it, we will be there. So that's it. Thanks. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Oh, you're reaching that up. Bye.